the Dodgers are fighting to punch their ticket to the World Series. We'll have game updates next.
A new report on hamburgers may have you thinking twice the next time you make a fast food run.
You may notice a change in billboards popping up all over Los Angeles, turning the advertisements into works of art.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
All eyes are on the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight as they get closer to the World Series. Good evening, I'm Taylor Elliott.
And I'm Colin Taylor. Let's go right to sports anchor Angel Vizcarra for the very latest on the Dodger-Brewer game.
All right, well, LA is excited tonight. Thank you so much, folks. Big time October baseball going on right now. And our sports correspondent, Cecil Hannibal, is in downtown LA, where Dodger fans are watching the Dodgers hopefully wrap up this Game 5 victory of the NLCS. Cecil?
I'm here in the Rockin' Rileys here in downtown LA, where Dodgers fans are waiting to see if their team can beat the Milwaukee Brewers. Right now the series is tied 2-2, and Dodgers fans are excited. Every hit, every strikeout, they know this could be another chance at the World Series. Right now at the top of the ninth, the Dodgers are up 5-1. We'll have more game updates for you in sports. Colin and Taylor, back to you.
Well, California Senator Dianne Feinstein and her opponent Kevin De Leon discussed issues such as immigration, healthcare reform, and economic growth in their one and only debate.
Our nation has turned its backs on our family of immigrants, American children, their parents who are being pursued and hunted down by ICE agents.
Growing the economy is important, doing those things that educate our people to take better jobs, that produce better incomes. Being able to build homes for people that they can afford.
This is a different California than it was 25 years ago. It is an amazing, diverse district.
American public policy domestically, we can achieve still a great deal.
Since both candidates are Democrats, we found it appropriate to talk to the political director for USC College Democrats.
I think it's being mostly dictated on Senator Feinstein's terms. The debate itself was relatively low-key, which is her style more so than Senator De Leon's. And I think that he's fighting to keep his name out there while she enjoys the benefits of a large incumbency. I'd predict it's perhaps not a tsunami for Senator Feinstein, but definitely not close.
Despite the wave of campaigns encouraging young people to vote, only about 300 people tweeted about the event.
A day before the big California shakeout, officials announced progress on the state's new Shake Alert system. It will warn people of an earthquake before it happens.
Individuals can receive advance notices of 10 to 20 seconds. That may not sound like a lot, but think about what can be done in 20 seconds. A surgeon can safely pause an operation, saving a life on the table. Trains and elevators can be stopped so passengers are safe. Gas lines can be closed due to so that we can reduce the risk of fire.
Some USC students think the alert system is great, but would like more information about how to be prepared.
If they gave me 10 seconds, I think I would just run into open space, which I think is helpful if I have that opportunity, but I think also it'd probably be more helpful if they gave you, like if I knew how to already be prepared so that when I got that 10-second warning, I would know better what to do.
According to FEMA, actions that need to be taken to be prepared for an earthquake include securing items on walls, creating an emergency plan with friends and family, and making a supply kit with enough food and water for a few days. Also, stop, drop, and hold on, which means drop to the ground and cover your head to avoid falling objects. Officials are not sure when the shakeout alert system will be fully operational. The big California shakeout is tomorrow at 10:18 a.m. Be ready to stop, drop, and hold on.
That burger you had for lunch, well, it could be detrimental to your health. Annenberg Media's Taylor Begley has the results of a new report.
What students may not know is that a new study by CalPERG revealed 22 of the 23 largest burger chains in America are using routine antibiotics in their beef. This has led to the spread of drug-resistant superbugs. They kill around 23,000 Americans each year. Public health advocates say the beef industry needs to step up.
We simply cannot afford to lose the effectiveness of these life-saving medicines to produce a slightly cheaper burger.
Dean is calling on McDonald's, the largest beef buyer in the United States, to set precedent. McDonald's released a statement in response. Preserving the effectiveness of antibiotics for future generations is highly important to McDonald's. McDonald's is currently finalizing a global antibiotics policy for beef to be announced before the end of 2018. Another burger chain receiving a failing grade is right here on campus. The Habit is a popular lunch spot for students, but some were unaware of the health risks.
That's a little scary, but I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of foods, especially fast food, have risks.
USC Hospitality says it's reached out to the Habit and will investigate.
We sign agreements with these brands or franchises, so that the brand or franchise will be on campus from anywhere, as short as 3 years up to 10 years.
Klinger says if the results are not good, the university can get out of its contract. The Habit could not be reached for comment. Of all the burger chains in California, Shake Shack was the only one to receive an A grade. For Annenberg Media, I'm Taylor Begley.
A new national report says 60% of roads and freeways in the LA, Anaheim, and Long Beach areas are in poor condition. Members of the USC community are not surprised.
Because of the bumpy roads, I have to replace my tire very often compared to when I was in Korea.
The roads, yes, they're a little bit bumpy, but it's not something that I feel like disturbs me. It's probably worse for cyclists.
According to the report, drivers in the LA area spend just under $1,000 on additional car maintenance because of bad road conditions.
We hear these calls that come in for blown out tires or, muffler problems or many different types of problems to their vehicle, which leads to breakdowns on the roadway. Not in every case, but in many cases, it's a result of drivers hitting large potholes and causing damage to their vehicles.
The report was conducted by National Transportation Research Group, or TRIP. According to the data, California is not faring well compared to other larger cities. San Francisco had the highest percent of roads in poor condition, followed by San Jose and then LA. The group says a major boost in funding is needed to fix the country's roads. Proposition 6 is on California's ballot, will eliminate the state's gas tax, which currently helps fund road repairs in the state.
If you've driven around lately, you may have noticed that some of the billboards in the city don't have their usual ads. Trevor Sahaki shows us why.
On one side, an ordinary advertisement. On the other, a larger-than-life photo. This billboard is one of 31 across the city that are being transformed from ads to art. For the rest of October, a nonprofit called the Billboard Creative wants people to look twice when they drive by.
I thought that was a very good idea to integrate art into, everyday life through those billboards. And often those billboards are so boring, or those advertisements.
Adam Santelli is the executive director of the Creative. He has new artists in mind.
We put up predominantly emerging artists, and the goal there, again, is to help them break into a system which has become, sadly, a really closed system.
During the recession, Santelli was asked to buy a billboard for his art. At first it felt like cheap advertisement, but then he was convinced.
I drove by there one day, and there's like 5 or 6 people underneath it taking selfies with it. It was just a great feeling.
Santelli realized he was onto something. Nearly 1,000 artists have applied for a board each year for the past 4 years.
How often do you get your work blown up to that size? It's not every day you get your art on a billboard.
These billboards are massive, but that's the point. People are supposed to look up, even if it's only for a couple seconds. The other goal of the gallery is to engage an audience that doesn't go to traditional shows.
People that may not come to a gallery are just going to drive by and potentially be interested in what they see.
By opening up their gallery to the sun, they've also opened up to their largest audience. For Annenberg Media, I'm Trevor Sahaki.
Tonight is the first night of the Downtown Los Angeles Film Festival. This year, the festival is featuring more female directors than ever before.
Protesters camped outside Paramount Pictures today, demanding more Latino representation in Hollywood movies.
So I sat down with the stars of the newest comedy to hit theaters. Next.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 5 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Got a quarter?
Picketers were protesting today outside of Paramount Pictures for the lack of diversity in studio films. Reporter Elizabeth Mayoral Corpus talked with the protesters.
Latinos excluded! Time to be included!
Nearly 60 protesters were picketing at Paramount Pictures today, demanding more Latinos in film. The National Hispanic Media Coalition organized the protest in response to hiring practices at the studio.
Paramount Pictures has the worst record in the employment of Latinos in the industry. And that is not just for 1 year, it's for a whole 10-year period.
Paramount Pictures produced 20 of the top grossing films of last year. Out of that number, only 7 Latino actors were hired, 1 Latino director was included, and no screenwriters were added.
Paramount sent a written statement to Annenberg Media saying they welcome the opportunity to build and strengthen relationships with the Latinx creative community further. Organizers say that is not enough and have called for a boycott of the studio's films.
We just want them to live up to their name, Paramount, and become paramount in what matters instead of being supreme in all of these negative attributes.
Latinos currently represent 24 of tickets bought at the box office. Protesters say the Latino community must be part of the industry to defy stereotypes.
When I was younger, I didn't really see my images on the big screen. You know, that's why I became a television writer, because I wanted to go ahead and create these images, these positive images, not just, you know, the maids, the drug dealers, the gangbangers. I wanted to create the images that, you know, portrayed my mother, my father, you know, all these positive role models.
With a signed petition of more than 12,000 signatures from the Latino community, the NHMC says it will keep putting pressure on the studios to increase opportunities for Latinos in front and behind the cameras. For Annenberg Media, I'm Elizabeth Mayoral Corpus.
A pop star is breaking her silence for the first time since her breakup. Plus, what Aubrey Plaza and Craig Robinson are saying about their new film.
Buzz reporter Brogan Craner has the stories.
Colin and Taylor, in today's entertainment news, Ariana Grande has finally broken her silence since her split from fiancé Pete Davidson. In a now deleted Instagram story, the pop star wrote a message to her fans about the breakup. She wrote, quote, "It's very sad and we're all trying very hard to keep going. Love you and thank you for being here always." Grande said in the same statement that she will be taking a break from the internet because it's too hard not to bump into news stories about the split. Turning now to movie news, I recently sat down with Aubrey Plaza and Craig Robinson, who star in the new film, An Evening with Beverly Loughlin.
There's an event tomorrow night at the hotel.
An event? In the new movie, An Evening with Beverly Loughlin, Aubrey Plaza plays Lulu, a woman trapped in a boring marriage. However, when Craig Robinson's character mysteriously resurfaces, she takes it as an opportunity to escape. Your character, I think so many women can watch this film and kind of like relate to it because she is a woman who's in this marriage. It's kind of no longer as exciting. So do you think women will be watching this film and be like, that's me, I kind of relate to Lulu?
A lot of men and women are in unhappy marriages and fantasize about escaping.
Despite the strained relationships in the film, there is no love lost between the cast members.
Jokes be like sarcastic and deadpan. And he's like, oh my God.
Cut you with a knife. You're not looking.
In this oddball comedy, the cast had to take on some unusual characters. What is that like, getting a script and seeing that like all your dialogue is just like grunts?
I was looking forward to the challenge of conveying what the character's saying through groaning.
Craig and Aubrey really want you to see this film, to the point where they even had an elevator pitch ready.
An Evening with Beverly Loughlin for One Magical Night Only is a movie about a love triangle with too many sides.
And it shows that true love never dies.
The film comes out this Friday, October 19th, in theaters, on demand, and in digital HD. Colin and Taylor, back to you.
Thanks, Brogan. Well, the weather's kind of been all over the place lately.
That's right. Let's go to Sammy for more.
Well, we've definitely had rain and clouds the last couple weeks, but it looks like we're finally starting to clear up today. Clear skies all around, a nice comfortable 76, and moving on into tomorrow's forecast, we should also have fairly good temperatures. So as per usual, a little bit warmer, Palm Springs, San Bernardino, it's heating up over there. Big Bear's always going to be a little bit cooler, but we're finally returning away from the cloudy skies and moving on over to the coastline. You're going to see Moving on over to the coastline, we're going to see quite similar effects. 90 in Northridge, but 84 in Malibu. So again, heating up quite a bit compared to the last chilly few weeks. And taking a look at the LA Basin, we're going to be over at 83 tomorrow in USC and around those temperatures in the surrounding areas. Looking at our 5-day forecast. Again, 80s through 90s continuing, we're heating up again, and it should be clear skies almost all the way through with a little bit of clouds on Sunday. But other than that, we're finally back in the clear sky time of the year, I guess. Recent rainfall following a drought has left Texas with severe flooding scattered throughout the state. The flooding has primarily affected the Llano River and surrounding bodies of water, as can be seen on this map, especially Lake LBJ. Residents of the Llano County were evacuated yesterday, and most of the roads surrounding the river have been closed down, one bridge even collapsing with the force of the flood. Yesterday, water levels crested at a near record high of 40 feet, trapping several residents in islands now only accessible by helicopter. As of today, at least 2 deaths have been reported. Flood levels are currently receding, but more rain is expected in the area in the upcoming days. Hopefully, it won't be too much rain to increase the floods again, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Thank you, Sammy. The 10th annual Downtown LA Film Festival kicks off tonight at Regal Cinemas in LA Live. This year's event aims to showcase underrepresented groups in the film industry.
The theme of this year's film festival is women's empowerment. And to that point, this year, 68% of all the feature films that we're screening at the festival are by women directors, which is a new benchmark for a film festival at a major American city.
Female filmmakers are taking center stage this year in the wake of the Me Too and Time's Up movements. The festival's opening film, WATERLILY, JAGUAR, is by female director Melora Walters and will be making its Los Angeles debut tonight. This year's festival includes 30 feature films as well as 77 short films, pilots, or web series. The festival will continue until this Sunday. Well, let's toss it over to our sports anchor, Angel Viscara.
At Utah's, I received some big-time October baseball being played this evening in LA. We'll update you on all things Dodgers, Brewers, and hear from sports correspondent Cecil Hannibal out in the field. And on the USC side of things, the Trojan football team takes to the road this Saturday for a tough road matchup against Utah, but they'll have to do so without one of their biggest leaders. And finally, we're jumping into the pool a bit. USC's men's water polo team has a pair of big matchups in the Southland this weekend. We'll have more after the break.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us, when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
And welcome back to ATVN, a huge night in LA for baseball fans as the Dodgers did battle tonight at Chavez Ravine in Game 5 of the National League Championship Series. And now let's take a look at what went down at Chavez Ravine tonight. The Dodgers came away with a 3-2 lead, and they had a big game. They had a big game tonight, come away with a 3-2 lead in the NLCS. Sorry, folks, it's hump day. It's Wednesday. We're having a tough time. But our sports correspondent, Cecil Hannibal, is down there as the Dodgers celebrate a 5-2 victory in Game 5 of the NLCS, taking a 3-2 lead. Here he is.
The game, and they're one step closer to the World Series. Now, guys, you wouldn't believe this. I made a friend, Rosie. Rosie, come here real quick. So, guys, this is Rosie, and she is a diehard Dodgers fan. How long have you been a Dodgers fan?
Years. Over 20 years.
So tell me, how excited are you knowing the Dodgers won tonight's game?
Finally, they did good. Go for it, Dodger Blue.
So are you gonna be here for next game too?
Yes.
So you heard it here first. Wait, so tell me, do you think the Dodgers could go all the way this year?
Yes. Oh, yes, they were.
Wow. Well, you heard it here first. The #1 Dodger fan says they're gonna go all the way. Angel, back to you.
I appreciate that, Cecil. Cecil, a good-looking guy. You can tell Rosie, happy to be next to him. But let's get back to the sports side of things. Back here in the land of Troy, USC is looking forward to a big Pac-12 matchup this Saturday against the Utah Utes. The Trojans will be squaring off with a hot Utah team that is coming off back-to-back Pac-12 wins. They routed Arizona last week 42-10, just 1 week after dominating a then top 10 ranked Stanford team. But undoubtedly, the biggest storyline going into USC's contest with the Utes this weekend is the absence of this guy, Porter Gustin, senior linebacker and team captain. Gustin underwent ankle surgery this week that will prevent him from returning to the field this season, thus ending his career as a USC football player. This is the second year in which Gustin has fallen victim to a season-ending injury. But now, while injuries have certainly been a big part of Gustin's time here at USC, you'd be mistaken if you didn't acknowledge the impact that he was able to make when he was healthy for USC. You see those stats now on your screen. But for USC head coach Clay Helton, Gustin's biggest impact might have come off the field.
I can count on one hand guys you just remember, you'll always remember, and that guy, he's the definition of what a Trojan is, whether it's on the field, the way he competes, the way he led our football team by example as well as vocally, the way he brought his younger brothers along.
Helton also noted that Gustin would likely be healed up from his surgery sometime in February so he could prepare for next year's NFL draft. And I know it's getting a little chillier now in October, folks, but let's jump into the pool now with the #1 ranked USC men's water polo team. Our Julia Adams actually had the chance to sit down and chat with freshman goalie Nick Porter earlier today in studio.
There's a huge sense of confidence when we go into the game, knowing that we have a great game plan. We're in great shape, so we've just got to keep improving, keep going through week by week, working on the things we need to work on, and we'll see what happens.
This USC team was able to exact some revenge this past weekend as they traveled up to Palo Alto this past Sunday to defeat the top-ranked Stanford Cardinal in a 10-9 thriller, reclaiming the top spot in the NCAA rankings. USC returns to action this weekend with a pair of top 10 matchups. They'll score off first with #8 ranked Long Beach State and #6 Pepperdine this Sunday. So a big weekend here, obviously, for USC, but let's rejoice, guys. The Dodgers have a 3-2 lead in the NLCS.
Oof, boy. But you can't take away USC. I'm excited for the next game.
Yeah, thanks, Angel. Today, companies camped out at SC for this year's Startup Career Fair.
We'll take you there next.
Hey guys, Danny Trejo here. There was going to be a whole song and dance routine about how you should wait your turn to enter the train. But they got me, Danny Trejo, to talk to you instead. Look, When you don't wait your turn to enter the train, it's rude and potentially dangerous. And believe me, I know a thing or two about rude and dangerous. I'm Danny Trejo. Don't be like rude, dude. Be kind, like super kind. Excuse me.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
More than 25 companies visited campus today for the Startup Career Fair.
We host a bunch of different committees that really try to push our mission forward of like getting everyone involved in entrepreneurship regardless of major.
There's been probably hundreds of people so far at this career fair, and we're hiring for a lot of entry-level roles, so it's been awesome to talk to a lot of USC alum.
Personally, I'm looking to just get a feel of what's out there.
I think this is the best event that we've been at for hiring and recruiting.
I came here today because I don't know much about these companies, but these startups all seem really interesting, and I kind of just want to find out more.
Some USC students have already started their own small businesses. One postdoctoral student has created a company that turns vegetable oil into renewable fuel and biodegradable products.
The hallmark of a successful startup is one that can fairly early on enunciate exactly what that insight is and then criticize it carefully to ensure its novelty and value. I think finding the right people is also a critical element.
Apply for full-time positions or internships at some of the hottest new companies. Well, thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Colin Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Elliott. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.
You know, I